Hello everyone, here with a HB ETF, but it's a bit of a different one. This is another list by the big boy involving team sponsorship, clone suffrage, assembly lines. So we've seen the team sponsorship and assembly lines thing work pretty well out of NEH in the past. So doing it in faction is a bit different. We're not going to have the card draw, but we are going to have a bit of extra money out of the ID. And the ability to play Jeeves in faction without worrying about the alliance requirement, and then free bodic labors is a big deal. So up against Hayley, just opening up at the clot right away. Interesting. And the Beth as well. So we're going to try to stay below 15 credits. It's bad enough giving them free card draw or credits, but free clicks is just brutal. If you let them get away with that for a long time, they're going to get pretty far ahead. So we now have the option to like put our sleepers out naked and score it to get a sponsorship trigger, but he hasn't even trashed anything yet, so let's not worry too much about it. We are at least making him be honest and check our servers. So let's see what we can do as far as let's score this. New remote, server 3, server 3. So ideally, we'll get him to face check this and spend his clicks or lose his clot. Either way is a good way for us. Staying under the 15 credit limit by 1 credit. That's where you want to be. I think there's a good chance he'll not want to trash this team sponsorship. We'll get to bring back our other team sponsorship. So this card hasn't been played for a long time. It's kind of whatever. I'm still not convinced on it myself. But it triggers your team sponsorships, and you can use Jeeves to actually only spend 2 clicks, because you're going to net click back after spending 3 clicks to put the agenda counter on it. So there is that. So we're going to score here. We're going to get team sponsorship back from the grave. And we get our HP credit, and we'll get to push again. So we're just kind of trying to go as fast as possible. We're going to ignore this clot if we can by just slamming in the remote. And he opens contract, and now all our stuff is dead. Yikes. So now we're an SMC and clone chip away from a remote being totally wrecked. We can install from the HQ with our teams. Not the ideal case. Had a phone call there. So we will waste his clicks, but wasting his money is now less important since he's got so much of it. He may spend through all of it. Depends how much his breakers cost to install, I suppose. So now that our hand is actually completely empty, we're going to be aiming at getting it refilled with Jackson. Or we could shove this into server 3. Yeah, let's just do that. he doesn't actually kill these right now. We're going to get to fire them again. Ooh, Shrike. That's kind of pricey. Shrike Faust. Interesting. Well, I'll happily res this since it costs him 4 to break. That's a lot of money. I guess it's a 1-card solution, but yeah, he's going to actually spend 3 cards. Out of the Ashes for value. Seems good. Da Vinci. Ooh, there's some interesting stuff in this deck. I guess I didn't want to try this. Maybe you thought it was a Sansan or some other random card, but we are so incentivized to score because of the 2 team sponsorships that I think I would have come at this server. So let's fish out just everything that was in the bin. Make him trash it again. He's not wizard or anything, so he's gonna have to either let me have these or spend the money he needs to set up. I think you should at least trash the clone suffrage, otherwise we'll get to fire little clearance. And that's pretty great value for us. Bookmark. What's that about? Is it Apocalypse related, do you think? Don't really know. I almost rather have lateral. They're both like, well, this is a $3 net and this is a $2 net. But it's going to be easier to use with the Jackson. So if we shove, he breaks for 2 cards and a bit of money. So actually now the Jeeve should go in this remote. Hang on, we'll do with the lateral. Might as well spend the lateral. Then our next question is how we're going to sneak out this sales team around this clot. So we could purge, but he probably has Clone Chip in hand, just waiting for it. Waiting for us to spend a whole turn purging. We can spend 2 hooks of Jeeves and purge. Excuse me. It's actually decent. Is he gonna get us back our suffrage, or let us run the suffrage again? Really? I think you gotta trash this one. Like, I know he got stuff to do, but he also has Out of the Ashes to run. Maybe he's setting up a huge apocalypse. I don't really know. So we'll rebuy our lateral again. So this is effectively like a double pad campaign right now. So we can biotic lateral. We don't have a third thing to play. I guess they're actually before any of the operations are played. So we're gonna get our G's value. Do we stack 3? So he's already gonna pay 4 to break this. We get another 4 to break Architect. I'm kind of confused with his game plan, and that worries me that I don't know what he's up to. Let's just sneak one. If this goes, we can 4 advance with the Jeeves and win the game. If he tries the Jeeves, we can 3 advance with the Bodic, do an extra advance and win the game that way. He has no points. I think he's got a... He's going to Apocalypse us this turn. Is that what's happening? He'll wipe his own board pretty well. Yeah, okay. So his plan is to kill everything. Our architect will stay, which is super relevant. And we could actually put the second architect in R&D. Would probably have been wise. Let's save some things. Let's get our laterals back in. You also want to save. Yeah, I think we should put the other architect in off of our assembly lines. Oh, Noto. Ha! That's fun. That's why he has the bookmarks. We can actually store these while he's doing the thing. If he did 3 notorieties and then an apocalypse, that would have been amazing. Well, he didn't. Sad face. He's still leaving the clone suffrage movement, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to get to do stuff now. We actually could install a third one, but we don't really have the anything to do. Nothing in our archives or hand we want to install. So we could have trashed the assembly lines to install a thing and then reinstall the assembly lines. So for some reason my point counter is messed up. Because we're going to win off Saber's next turn. What happened here? Must be a bug. They did a new update, which probably means they break everything, right? Unless you spend a lot of time doing... Oh, Team Stars was triggering again. Right? Was the unres one triggered? Something weird happened there. I'll probably forget to file the bug report. Yeah, so had the apocalypse us, it would have been in good shape. We would have lost our agenda to the bin, lost all our team sponsorships. We would have had architect to bounce back. We would have been able to stop indexing or whatever. So now we need to find 4 points. Yes, this is the thing that happened a lot in Octagon back in those days. They would do an update and they would actually break things that used to work and that you were happy with that were actually important to add other things that sometimes weren't even that important. So definitely a danger of being out of touch with what the customers want. In this case, customers kind of in air quotes because we're not paying for this service at all. And here he comes. It's gonna be expensive. He will see 2 cards though, so if he manages to hit 2 agendas, and we've got 6 left out of 29. So he's probably like a bit under a quarter. Maybe more than under a quarter. I don't have the math coming to mind right now. Alas, it is. So Sleepers does the thing. Gain click from Jeeves. Oh, baby. Yeah, maybe, I guess he thought he was so certain there was a Turing on the remote, right? most decks are playing Turing, and he thought that Turing would get blocked by his, or would block the Faust, right? So there's definitely some advantage to playing ice that aren't normal ice, just because people will make plays guessed on what they think you're playing. It only works for a little while until they figure out what it is and becomes popular, but I don't think this deck is actually strong enough to become too popular. It's like a decent deck. It usually works, but I feel like it's not going to hold up against Wizard, for example. So if your meta is like a lot of other stuff, might be fine, but it seems a bit shaky to me. I was surprised at how much we got out of this Clone Suffrage. I think you should just trash it right away. Letting us get back lateral makes like a double pad campaign. Getting back Biotic or something else like could just be game winning on its own. Such a great card. Thanks for watching.